Oh, oh my God. Who would have thought that this would happen? PlayStation has announced that its hero shooter Concord will be taken offline on September 6, 2024, and all players will receive a full refund. Game director Ryan Ellis said, while many qualities of the experience resonated with players, we also recognize that other aspects of the game and our initial launch didn't land the way we'd intended. That is crazy. Well, you've got to think about how long this game's been in production. This game has been in production for 8 years. Concord's release date was August 23rd, 2024, which means that this game lasted just about 2 weeks before it got shut down. Think about it. 8 years of work, 8 years of funds just for 2 weeks. And it's all gone down the drain. That's absolutely crazy. Now, there's quite a few obvious factors that have played into this. One clearly being that PlayStation had its initial 10 to 15 minute presentation about the game, which again looked like a knockoff Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and then they announced it was a PvP game, and I, like the rest of the audience, just went, oh, I am not interested. I do not want a PvP game. So I lost interest there. The stuff that they showed after did not look incredibly impressive. It just looked a bit like Destiny with a reskin. People played the beta and not many people were that impressed. The people watching it weren't impressed, and the people playing it clearly weren't impressed, because when it came to release date, less than 700 people on Steam, just Steam, actually played the game. Now, we don't have the numbers from PlayStation, because obviously PlayStation keep that close to themselves, but I've got a good feeling that the trend line must be similar to the PC, to Steam. That if less people are playing it on Steam, less people are playing it on PlayStation. Especially when you put into account that if there's less people playing the game and it's a PvP only game and you can't find the game, why would you keep playing it? Your search time's going to be through the roof and you're just not going to play it anymore. Another thing you can couple along with this is that the development team or people around it have been posting on Twitter, and they've not had the nicest things to say about people who are, some just outright disgusting and saying terrible things to them, but some a bit more constructive in the criticism that they gave about the game. As we can see with this person here, this developer has been muting people and saying that they need to pay money if he wants to unmute them. This is one of the people who helped create this game, and this is how they react. This is not good PR. Why would I want to support, if this is the people that you employ, why would I want to support your team? Unfortunately, I think there's other games that also fell fruit to that too. Helldivers 2. But it's just not a good look that people who worked on the game are being incredibly rude, calling other people talentless because they didn't like the game that seemingly no one liked, because, as we said, it's being shut down after 2 weeks. You know what? Let's have a closer look at what's said on this IGN post. The game will be removed from sale immediately, and anyone who purchased on the PlayStation Store or PlayStation Direct will be refunded to their original payment methods. Those who purchased on Steam and the Epic Game Store will be refunded in the coming days. I think the silver lining is that everyone is getting a refund. So everyone who spent between the £35 to £40 that it costs, at least you'll get everyone who paid between the £35 to £40 or equivalent in your currency, at least you'll be getting your money back. So, poof, thank God for that. Physical refunds are a tad trickier, but players can check with individual retailers to obtain a refund. Oh dear. Oh no. Because what if you go to a retailer and say, well, you've bought the game, you've opened it, we're not going to give you a refund? You know, you can't fully guarantee that that's going to work. Sony will presumably organize a system with them itself that allows all refunds to be processed fully. Once refunded, players will no longer have access to the game. So it'll be very interesting to see people do a physical refund. It's also a strange one when you think about it, that if Sony do have the ability to offer refunds, why can't they implement Steam's refund policy of if you can play the game for up to 2 hours, and if you dislike the game, you can refund it. But I think that topic always comes up every time a refund option comes available. But there, its launch was nothing short of disastrous, with analysts telling IGN it has likely sold as few as 25,000 units. Again, 8 years for 25,000 people to play. And if we do the maths, in pounds that is, if we do 40 times 25,000, they have made 1 million. 1 million pounds after 8 years of work is not it. And they will have wasted so much money in production for this. Also, when you think of the weekly cinematics they were going to produce, which clearly looked quite in depth and was going to take up a lot of effort to do, they must have had some in the pipeline already, additional costs. Jesus! It debuted to a tragic 697 peak concurrent players on Steam, a number that made the 12,786 players of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Wow. Wow. That's scary to think that Suicide Squad performed better than Concord. That is a disastrous failure. Oh my god. Sony President Hiroki Totoki committed to launching just 6 of the 12 live service games in development, and one based on The Last of Us has already been cancelled. Wow. I'm guessing the one that they're on about with The Last of Us was probably Grounded 2, which was in development for a long time. I'll be honest, I'm just in shock that this did not last as long as we expected it to. We knew it would dwindle out, but I didn't expect Sony to cut the cord this soon. Again, the silver lining is everyone will be getting a refund, but for everyone who's involved, it's such a shame that it didn't find an audience. Unfortunately, a lot of the characters in the game, the designs were just not appealing for me to look at. The characters in Overwatch are nice and stylized, and the characters here just look very dull and boring. Even if you look at all the style, the cool little purple hair afro to the side, the mohawk, cool, bright and colourful, but in today's world, that is incredibly generic and lacks any sort of character. These characters, to me, are lacking any sort of character, and the skins were just recolors of the outfits that they have. This is... oh my days. Wow. Wow, that's all I've got to say. I'm just in shock. Well. Oh my god. Another thing, I was trying to go to the official Concord store page just to get some more information for my video, and I've clicked on the PlayStation link and it no longer exists. It's already been wiped off the store. That is crazy. Wow.